Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi, joined by Adam King, Nicole Shearin, and we can call it breaking news. We just did a sit-down interview with Coach Ryan Day, and we can confirm that on the offensive side of the ball, he did confirm to us that Brian Hartline will be the offensive coordinator. He's going to call the plays. He confirmed that Keenan Bailey will be the co-offensive coordinator, will continue to coach the tight ends. He confirmed that Billy Fessler is going to be the quarterback coach, and Tyler Bowen, who's coming from Virginia Tech, will be the new offensive line coach and will be the run game coordinator. So that's the offense. Other side of the ball, and sources telling me that Matt Patricia is going to be coming to Ohio State. He was at this is a big news, ladies and gentlemen. He was at the New England Patriots for years with Bill Belichick. He is coming to be defensive coordinator. Timmy Walton, who played for John Cooper, coaches the defensive backs, will be the co-defensive coordinator. We asked Ryan Day about it. He said, I can't get into that, but sources close to the program.
And Matt Guerrieri, which is a newer role.
Yeah, Matt's going to be the pass game coordinator.
Which we don't often see on defense.
Right.
So that's kind of a new
he's rewarding guys on staff, but he's bringing in a guy that has been around. I think he was a head coach at one time.
He was for Detroit,
Yeah, so.
I think when you look at Matt Patricia, it's going to be a very split opinion for Buckeye fans, but I think it's a really good hire because I think you needed to bring in a guy that has been a head coach, a guy that Ryan can again say, that is your room, I'm out. Give me, hands off and be a CEO that he's been this past year. And I think once he got that role, there was no world where he could go back. If you promote Tim Walton and Matt Guerrieri, which we thought, they might be at the start of all this, if that happens, you've got new guys that are trying new roles and you feel like you probably got to be a little more hands-on. Matt Patricia, there is no world where he is going to need Ryan Day in those meetings to run those meetings. I think it's kind of the Nick Saban hire. I think we're seeing Ryan Day take the Nick Saban route of things, which is let me go find a coach that's been an NFL head coach, that's been a coordinator, that maybe needs to rehash his image, that maybe needs to go out there and kind of use it as a stepping stone. Although I will say, Nicole, I hope that it's a 2-year thing with Matt Patricia. You can't have another Chip Kelly and have somebody leave after 1 year.
I think you touch on it, Adam, that it's going to be very split what people think. Because, yes, the Matt Patricia name, it's not super flashy right off the bat, right? But like you said, Ryan Day, I think, loves this hire because he can take the foot off the gas a little bit. He can say, hey, this is all you. And, I mean, this is a guy with 3 Super Bowls. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's, 2016, they had the best defense in the league. I mean, he's got the resume for it, and I think he's one of those guys where Ryan's not going to have to worry about being more hands-on with the defense, which we saw him do this year some.
Well, he's a guy that obviously Bill Belichick thinks the world of. He won 3 Super Bowls with Belichick. And the thing about it is Ryan Day, has been on the record. He wants to hire a defensive guy that he really doesn't want to get involved with defense, but I was joking with him today when I was talking about his ability. He could be a defensive coordinator, Ryan Day could, because
he's an offensive mind.
He knows what it's like to scheme against the best defenses in the country, and we just saw what he did to the best defense. So he knows defense, but his druthers is to be with the offense. And then the fact that you're going to have, and I think this is where he's thinking, he wants to get the defense and hopefully not have to worry about it because on offense, you're going to have a new offensive coordinator that's going to be calling plays. And he spoke very highly of Brian Hartline, and he thinks he's ready for this opportunity. You've got Tyler Bowen who's coming in, and you got a guy that has a lot of experience from Virginia Tech, and he's not the oldest guy. None of these guys are old on the offense.
And Bowen did call plays at Virginia Tech. He was their offensive coordinator.
But he's going to be the run game coordinator, so they'll work together. And Hartline's going to be he's going to call the plays. But mainly his big forte is going to be the passing game. But he'll call the plays in coordination with Bowen. And then you got Billy Fessler, who's going to be the quarterback coach. Well, Ryan's going to have his fingers on that too, because 100%. The quarterback is the most important position on the field. And given the fact And he told me today, if you're asking who's going to be the starting quarterback, Ryan Day told me that it is going to be wide open.
And thus it begins.
And it begins.
And we'll be having this conversation until August 30th.
So any of you that think Julian Sayin is the heir apparent, Ryan Day said,
He's
not
the heir
so
apparent.
fast. Not so fast. He said Lincoln Keenholz is in the running, Tavian St. Clair is in the running, and of course, Julian Sayin. All three are going to get opportunities. He said they're going to chart everything. They're going to put them through it. And it's going to be different. Those guys, because they didn't play that much. They were backups. They were, you know what, they can be put through the paces this spring. Although spring is going to be shortened a week, and they're doing it different because for the guys
showcase.
he mentioned like the guys like Sonny Styles and whatever that, you know, their bodies are still beaten up. They're trying to come back. And spring practice starts March 17th. They're going a week later than normal. They're going to give them some more time
spring break.
to heal up. They usually start before spring break. So I think with getting a guy like Matt Patricia to coach the defense, you've got that veteran guy. You got a guy like Chip Kelly, who had not only college but NFL experience and was a head coach. And Patricia will be able to bring that. We expect an announcement. I don't know when it's going to come, but Coach was not ready to confirm anything today and said, I can't get into it. But we're hearing it is a done deal and in the works.
And I think there are a lot of people that are going to be caught off guard by Matt Patricia. One, because it's a name that very quickly came out of nowhere, and then he took the role, obviously. But also, Matt Patricia hasn't been coaching this past year. He's been out of coaching. He was last with the Eagles, where there was some frustration from Eagles fans. I don't think that's fair, one, because this is a whole different world for Matt Patricia. He's never coached in college football. And when you've never done that, you have the opportunity to come to a different group of young men, not NFL guys. And with that, I think he has the chance to shape this defense the way that he wants. He has the chance to walk into that room and be the leader. And that's what Ryan Day wants at the end of the day here. And you look at the offensive side of the ball, you're right, Dom. I mean, someone like Billy Fessler, he got a lot of praise from Will Howard last year. Will Howard never walked away from the podium without crediting Billy Fessler.
Right.
He was a Chip Kelly guy. Chip wanted him here. And with it, he's incredibly young to be the Ohio State quarterback's coach. But he is. And so now you have to expect, if you've got Billy Fessler as the quarterback's coach, you've also got the QB guru in Ryan Day that's going to have to be more involved, especially in shaping guys like Julian Sayin, and shaping guys like Tavian St. Clair. So obviously you don't.
And that's why I think the hire of Patricia is a strategic
It's
move.
totally strategic, absolutely, because Ryan doesn't want to have to take on all that pressure of having to manage all these different sides of the ball, all these different rooms. I also love, Dom, you brought this up, how it's a good mix of rewarding guys who are a part of the program and moving them up the ladder and bringing a guy in like Patricia who's got a lot of experience. And he's already going to have that respect of the defense because these Buckeyes are going to look at him and say he's got the resume for it. Yeah, sure, he hasn't been coaching this year. That doesn't matter, though. It really doesn't.
It doesn't matter in the fact that he's going to come in here and implement his system. He's going to run his system. And he's been a head coach in the NFL. That's what you need. You talk about the Nick Saban process. It's finding somebody who knows.
Super Bowls.
He's won Super Bowls.
I mean, cream of the crop.
If you want to look at this hire and be frustrated with it, that's fine. I think he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. And
I haven't heard anyone complaining. Why would you? The
don't look at Twitter right now.
I was going to say, Dom, don't.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't listen to any of that. And I'll tell you, you know.
You're going to bring up Georgia in 2020?
It's just ridiculous. And you know, some of the other highlights from Coach Day's interview, we talked about, believe it or not, he says it still is not sunk in what they've accomplished. I mean, which I thought was amazing because he's been just going here, there, and everywhere.
A break.
Yeah.
And it's just still not sunk in. I thought it was interesting. He talked about how, you know, after the loss to that team, that, you know, it was like, he goes, it's just extremes. You deal, when you're the head coach at Ohio State, you deal with extremes that, you know, you need to be fired, you're terrible. And then all of a sudden you win it all and you're the best. He said, you know, most of the people he feels, you know, there's the extremes, but most of the people are in the middle. And I think I agree with him. He talked about Will Howard, and I asked him, because I want Will Howard to go to the Cleveland Browns. They need a quarterback.
Yes, you do, Dom.
Well, they need a quarterback And I'll tell you what, and for you people on Twitter, I told him I don't pay attention.
Yeah,
But
Dom
those
looks at
people
Twitter.
on
Don't you
Twitter-
worry, he's reading, okay?
You people on Twitter that say, why do you hate Will Howard? What do you have against Will Howard? Why? I want the Cleveland Browns to win, and I think Will Howard could help them win. I asked Coach Day about it. Now, he didn't weigh in on the Browns, but he thinks...
I would hope you didn't ask Coach Day if he should go to the Browns.
I just said I would like that, but he didn't weigh in on that. But
We've gone off the rails.
He did say that, Will Howard, I think, he says you cannot imagine the weight that he took on every week getting ready for games. And he and he coached quarterbacks in the NFL. He thinks he's going to be an outstanding player at the next level.
Well, Dom, but that's another part of this that's going to be huge for the Buckeyes this year is that they listen. Julian Sayin has an amazing arm, but he's young. He's a sophomore.
Yep.
And
Tavian St. Clair is just coming as a freshman.
just coming in here. And so if one of those guys is your quarterback, Lincoln's been here for a while, but if it is Julian or it is Tavian St. Clair. The leadership, you can't manufacture that in college football. You can't just show up and say, I got the starting job, I'm going to be the leader. So Ryan he's kind of got to mold a guy there. It's going to be more work this on the offense than
let me just say
has.
this about Lincoln, and I know nobody talks about this kid, but he's been in the system now a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And you forget, this guy was really highly recruited. He was a high prospect when he came in here.
I wanted to see him play in the Cotton Bowl, and then I did.
Weirder things have happened around here.
I felt
folks,
bad. He was in a bad circumstance there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going on a slight tangent from Patricia, but going off of what you said, Adam, about leadership, like Will had that from the get-go.
Yeah.
That was not, you can't really teach leadership. You can show qualities of leaders, but you either have it or you don't. And so I think that's...
Got to win the room over.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got to win the room over.
And you can't do that as a sophomore.
No, and so I think that is one concern.
Wait, but it takes time.
But that's one concern, I think, with a lot of fans and a lot of people looking at the program is, all right, you go from a guy like Will Howard, who's a veteran quarterback, who knows how to lead a team, to, wow, these guys are young.
I watched J.T. Barrett do it.
Yes, he did.
And it can be
But
done.
you're
It
talking
totally
about
can.
an extreme. JT was one of the best leaders in Ohio State
Well,
history.
and you know what? I guarantee you all three of these guys are great leaders, or they would not have been outstanding players in high school. And I just am looking forward. And once again, with that, Coach Day said it's wide open. So for you, Julian,
And
saying,
good.
folks,
I'm glad it's wide open.
If you're
let's see.
watching this, make sure you go to Dom's Twitter and reply about Will Howard and the Browns.
He's tweeted it about, 5 times?
I think it should
Yeah.
happen.
Like,
I
all
think
right.
it should happen. All right, keep it on 10 TV, 10 TV Plus, 97.1 The Fan for all your Buckeye coverage needs.